Hi, everyone. Welcome to Live Reality Games podcast. We are here breaking down episode 10 of Survivor South Africa Immunity Island. Today, it's me and Vince again, and we are also joined today. Very excited to announce this. I think it's our first play where we are revealing of Melbourne Survivor Season 3. So welcome, CK.
Great to be here. I'm excited to talk about Survivor South Africa. It's the first season of Survivor South Africa I've watched, and it's just fantastic. It's a fantastic season.
I just want to know what's your favorite thing about like an international Survivor that we don't see with Australian Survivor? Like, what are you liking about this one that's different?
It's clearly edited and produced in a way that's catering for super fans of gameplay. That's the focus. Like in this episode in particular that we're just going to talk about, there's so much different strategy talk being revealed. And I've actually found it difficult because of the amount of strategy talk that's been shown the entire season. I've actually found it difficult to know who was actually aligned with each other until the big move a couple of episodes ago when they took out Marisha. I didn't actually know where any of these people sat with each other. I think that was because of the double tribal swap plus so much talk. You're seeing all the talk, not just the talk that leads to the moves that actually happened that defined the game.
Yeah, it's I find this season, to be honest, it's probably the most strategic season I've ever watched of Survivor, and I think it's the most strategic season we've ever seen, filmed and edited that way. Unless you've got another thought, Vince.
I feel like yes, you're both of you are saying was correct because it's really strategy focused, and I kind of feel like they should have toned down a little bit. Like I think in the past few episodes we did say like they show too much. They maybe need to like cut back down a little bit and focus a little bit more character. And but you're talking about being strategy. Everyone's being strategy, but I feel like a few players are just not like there are some people in the cast that are not actually playing. Like there's a few, even in this episode.
This episode just completely outs two people. Yeah,
Nicole and Ella. You know, they're just. And Ella could sneak into a top 3 potentially. Nicole goes sometime soon. I'm sure. And
yeah, there's series out there.
Water's just along for the ride.
Chris, before we go deep, who's your standout player that you've been following? So who's your standout player?
So I did a draft with 2 very close friends, and I had first pick in the draft, and my first pick was not who I thought would win, but I was just standing so hard for him at the time. This was right at the start, and I had to pick him, even though I didn't think he'd win. I thought he was the merge boot. He's got further than that, and that was Chappies. I just love him. He's not that great, and this is the first time I've actually engaged with contestants playing while it's being aired on Twitter, and Chappies and I have got a bit of a bromance going. He responds to a lot of my tweets, which I feel very positive about, and the main reason for that is because I started liking him and saying how much I like him before he saved everyone in that water challenge, and then everyone started liking him. Before that, everyone seemed to dislike him. So I got in early there, and I love Chappies, but I never thought Chappies would win. My second pick is who I think would win when I picked them, and who I think is still going to win, and that's Anesu.
I feel like Chappies actually has a chance. Like from this episode, I'm just like I'm gripping onto like any chance that he may have. But like I feel like he's more in the middle now than when he was on the outs. Like these last couple of episodes have definitely put him like in a power position, and it's good. It's good. I like it. He wasn't in this position before.
But from if you say that, but like more of the strategy move was actually focusing on Anesu. So Chappie was more of a like going along than Anesu. So instead of like split focus, like both of them are making this decisions, which obviously they are, but the editing sort of focusing on Nesu more than Chappies.
Oh, for sure. But I feel like the way the editing's going from this episode, right? We've got Water, Tyson, Kieran. Then we've got Anella and Nicole. Spoiler alert, other people have gone. We'll get to that in a minute. And then now we've got in the middle is Santini, Chappies, and Anesu. Now, if they're smart enough, they would just go boom, 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 and just flip between both alliances and just take everyone out, and then they would be the final three. And I feel like everyone's thinking that. Everyone's in their brain just like, oh, this is what's going to happen for the end of the season. I don't think that's going to happen because South Africa Survivor always completely screws us over with how they're portraying the game, and then it just goes one way the next day. However, I can't see Chappies, if he wins that final immunity challenge, taking Anesu to the final two, if it's a final two.
Do they normally do final 2 or 3 in South
Africa?
No.
2.
It's changed. It's 2 and 3. It's jumps, and we don't know.
I think what you said isn't going to happen will happen. And the reason I think that is because Water and Kieran and Tyson are so tight, and they're clearly so tight, whereas Anesu and Santini have been happy to flip-flop on whomever to make moves. So if I'm Smash or if I am Nicole, who am I going to go with when you have the face-off of these 3 alliances? Am I going with these 3 who keep saying how bloody tight they are? Or am I going to go with Santini, Anesu, and Chappies? And to be honest, I didn't even know that Anesu and Chappies were aligned until this episode. And she told him about her advantage. I'm like, where did this come from? So...
sorry. Because I think it's sort of hinted in the first 2 episodes. They're actually having a bond with Anesu, Chappie. What else is there? I can't remember. It was ages ago. But they have a big group.
Yeah.
Well, the whole Santoni Chappies line has been happening since day one.
Yeah. One of my first tweets that I actually got in with him a bit was when Santini started taking over the game in that sort of mid swap situation, and he was on the outs before that, but then she sort of was able to bring him back in. I said to him on Twitter, the best move you've made the whole game was when you went back and saved Santini in that challenge when she was really struggling. And he just said, look, a bit of niceness goes a long, long way. In real life and in the game. That's what he wrote back to me on Twitter. And they are very tight. And then he saved her in the water again. And I think after that, there's been, a very strong connection there.
Yeah. It's weird that you see social bonds throughout challenges. You don't see that really ever.
No.
And that's sort of it's weird because we actually are getting a lot of social gameplay as well, even though it's mainly strategic. But anyway, let's talk about the episode and how it all went down and the stupid twists that are on it.
Okay, I think
I hated it personally, but everyone has their opinion, and they're valid opinions, even though they may be wrong.
Okay, let's just recap sort of. So let's just skip forward. We don't. So we get the scene where Rainier came in with bags and plenty of notes. That's just most notes I haven't seen in the Survivor series. They have clip and they have to flip.
It's they haven't checked tree mail in a couple of days, and it's just been piling up, and they haven't gone to collect their mail and.
It was strange they did it at camp and not at a fake challenge or something.
Yeah. Budget cuts, maybe. I don't know. They didn't want to take a bus somewhere.
So this twist, as I mentioned last recap, it's a staple in the French Survivor. And I actually look a bit more and do more research. They actually didn't change anything. So the Thai destinies always done in final 10. And always been random. So we get to see they took up the bag and everyone grabbed rocks, and then it. I don't know why, but the pairing is just bizarre. the possibility is
It was
really
literally every single alliance was together. Like even like the tight 2 alliances were together as well.
Someone on Twitter did the numbers, and apparently the odds of it resulting in that were 4.8% or something. So
That's crazy.
Production must have face palmed because it made their great twist almost irrelevant.
Yeah, it just made it easier for like the majority to get more of the minority out.
Yeah. Whereas if you'd had them more mixed together and you had to potentially take out one of your allies to get rid of the big target, it could have really shaken up the whole game.
Yeah, like let's imagine, right? We've got it's completely changed, right? So Amy's not with Rainier, but Amy's with Water. And then Tyson's with Rainier.
Yeah.
And then we've got Kieran with Nicole, and then Anala's with Anesu. And then you still have Santoni and Chappies because I stand that couple. Right. My camera is doing some weird shit right now. Anyway, then we're like stuck with like who does everyone vote out? Like, and then like that would be like one of the most interesting episodes I think I would ever been watching. But because we've got like just
who do you think would go in your scenario? I think it would be Tyson.
I think Tyson and Rainier.
Yeah, in your scenario, I agree.
Yeah, in that scenario, I would say Tyson and Rainier.
I wouldn't think so. Maybe they will get out one of the weak sort of like people they don't need, I guess.
Well,
I
don't think it doesn't benefit Anesu having Anessa and Anala are together, so it doesn't getting rid of Rainier and Tyson doesn't really affect them too that much. Like it might affect Anela's alliance that he's in the bottom of anyway. And then Santoni and Chappies would then have a lot of power in that swing, I reckon.
Okay. But it's a lot of hypothetical like scenarios. So
we could sit here for hours doing that.
Yeah. So hey, if you're a producer, how would you fix it? Because
redo it and re-edit it. No, we have to redo this rock draw, guys. Sorry.
You just Bobby John Stephanie the thing and just redo the fire challenge because you didn't get the outcome you wanted.
I actually feel like it's a good twist, but it doesn't have to be random draw. Like it can be like maybe they have a like sort of a challenge and have like the 5 people win, and then the 5 people can choose the other 5 people. I guess that will be have a little bit more social thing.
No, you wouldn't want to come 5th.
Why?
Like, I wouldn't want to come 5th and get the person that nobody wanted to choose back in there. Like you wouldn't want it.
Wouldn't they just pick their allies anyway?
Yeah, that's the thing. They'll just pick their allies.
Anyway. There's more sort of instead of being luck based, if they want to do it in the future, they can try and do that instead. I guess because I don't really like the draw thing.
I don't think it'll ever come back in the future because it was such a dud. Like I don't think that.
I think what production should have done is Island of the Idols this thing and just make the selections and tell them it was done at random. Like, it's not what you want as a fan because it's interfering with the game and you want the game to be as fair and part. But when Island of the Idols, I mean, is, they just kept randomly getting set. Like, they'll draw the hand in with Rob and Sandra, but it wouldn't actually tell you who it was. And that, to me, was a red herring that they were absolutely picking who to go next time, considering no one ever went twice and considering that it was always someone who actually needed an advantage. Like it was always so scripted. So you don't like that, but on the other hand, it's better TV. So I would love to see, I would love to see this again because I think the value of this twist is huge, but I understand that production might have been spooked.
I think this twist potentially.
Sorry, Josh, to interrupt. So I just came out like, if I'm the bottom 4, if I'm Rainier Amy, I would have picked someone not in my alliance. Then I will have a chance to stay. Wouldn't that better?
No, you're right. You're right. It depends on the way the challenge unfolds, of course. But yeah.
I think whoever's watching in the LRG land should try this in their game at Final 10. Just give it a shot. Give it a whirl. See how it goes. Like if you ever need to fit a double tribal cancel in, just like put this one in instead. This would actually make more sense as a double tribal than just like a random double tribal.
I think you're right. And when you are running a 2-day amateur game, a quick double boot is probably a beneficial position to get the game moving on the limited time you have. So I think it is worthwhile.
The only thing I'll change with this, and it's been done in like sequester games and like equilibrium games, is that the people have to vote together. Like they have two parchments, but if they don't vote the same, they're both null. They're voided.
I like that too.
Yeah. That's the only thing I would change about this. That way, you could like completely like screw up like a majority vote and just like big chaos. Like that's what I would do.
I also why don't they vote like Rainier and Amy? Why don't they have to write the couple's name instead of writing one person's name? So it doesn't really matter eventually. But I just feel like
No, well, they had to. Well, one person can play an idol, right? So this is what I liked about it, and this is what I liked about it. They could only vote one person still. They weren't voting a couple. So, say for example, Rainier and Amy had a idol, and they played it on Amy.
No,
that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't make because they're safe anyway. Sorry.
If one of them played an idol, they were both immune. That's what was in the parchment.
Maybe they could change it where the idol only still affects one person. That way, it's harder to guess the right one as well. Like,
but then only one person will go home, which defeats the purpose of.
No, but say for example, I don't know. I'll talk to you about this later.
We're going to move on.
I think you're on the right track though with the merged votes, like the together votes. The whole point was you're together for the whole ep. So I think that's a good value of it.
Yeah, I just wish that like potentially if this ever comes out again, we do not see it with alliances just together.
It's like, so unlikely. So I'd love.
It's still unlikely, but you know what? Like it's bound to happen again. It's how the world works. Everything just stuffs you around. Anyway, so we go straight to the challenge pretty much after the couples are decided, and it's reward, immunity challenge. It's balancing. Shocker alert. We have actually, to be honest, I really thought the yoga women would have been the best at this. That wasn't the case. And we saw Amy. Yoga women are Water and Anesu. They know each other outside the game from yoga stuff.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
I also feel like why don't they make it like a joint effort? I feel like, I guess the like sort of individual part is also makes sense, but I just doesn't feel like why can't they just make it a dual effort? Like both people have to contribute equally.
Yeah, it's like they had this planned for like maybe Final 12, and they're like, oh no, you do it a bit later, make it a bit interesting for like start a merge. But then it looks like they also might have had a plan for Final 8 as well.
Yeah, I think that's a good call in terms of the challenge. Like you could have had some of those ones they've had in Australian Survivor where you're in team challenge, but you're like wedged against a pole together, or the one where those sorts of ones. I think that would have been a good idea in some way, or a rope obstacle course challenge and you're tied together, like something where they were linked. They're probably in what you said, Josh. It probably was the intent to have it at 10. If, as Vince said, in France they do it at 10, and it's just a direct copy.
Maybe they could have also done like how they do like the family reward challenges and in the US, and the family usually goes in and plays with them as well. Like maybe do like something like that even.
Yeah.
Instead of just having like a challenge that was like literally unfair for like half of that tribe. It was like sort of I understand that challenges like some challenges cater to certain people. I get that, but I don't know.
On the whole though, the individual challenges so far in this have been really good. There was the Survivor Classic up on the tower, and then they had a cognitive one, purely cognitive, which I think you don't see that so much in sort of like old school American Survivors. The last time you sort of saw stuff like that, so I like that. It gives everyone a chance. So I didn't really mind this challenge. It wasn't super physical. Like I would suck at it, but it's a woman generally will win balance, but no guarantees. Women just tend to be better at balance, and it depends how heavy that urn was, but it didn't seem that heavy. But props to Nicole and Amy. They did it for an hour and a half. Like
that's crazy.
It's massive.
I just can't imagine being like in that position for like an hour and a half. And the gust, the wind that blew everyone up.
Yeah. I think they realized though at that point that they were fighting to stay in the game. Like I think they realized that it was them or the other one that was going to go home. But anyway, we see Nicole win. Congratulations, Nicole. And then she probably pulls off the worst move in Survivor history by taking.
It's probably the worst reward selection of people to go with you in Survivor history. I don't know if it's the worst Survivor move of all time, but in terms of a reward choice of who's coming with me, yeah, it's the worst.
Yeah. It pretty much seals their fate.
No, I actually wonder if they have a choice to reject it. Like, can they just say, no, I don't want to go?
Yeah, but in their head, they're thinking they probably can't. But then they're also probably thinking at the same time that I may as well enjoy my last day here. Like,
yeah, sure.
People have, you don't know what production will allow, but, in American Survivors, people have said, you come with the reward with me. And then they've said, actually, no, this person should go instead or whatever. Like,
Natalie Anderson did that.
Yeah. And they all knew that, like Rainier, Anella, and Amy all knew what a horrible decision this was. It just cut to them all talking about how bad of a decision that was.
Do you guys like the 2-person confessional? I kind of like it. Like, I really like it. Don't do it anymore. I like it.
I like it.
It was so good.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for like the next couple of episodes to have like Anesu and Chappie's having a confessional together, or
I don't think we're going to see it again. I think it was only the paired destiny thing.
Yeah, I think so.
I really liked it because they can't, I think, generally do it in a normal situation because two people too much of a chance to strategize without anyone else around, so you can't really do it. But for the paired destiny, it was a good little gimmick. I liked it.
Yeah, like impromptu, like 2-person confessionals, like we see on some LRGs are okay. Where it's just like everyone else has gone off talking, and then they'll have a quick confessional in camp or something. That's okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did miss it. It's been ages since we've seen an actual like Survivor.
I think the last one I've seen is like maybe in Amazon. I think that's the only one.
Yeah, it was like years ago. It was like when
was that Heidi and Gemma? Did they have one?
Yeah, or? Yeah. Okay, the reward for me, water slides after being through Survivor and go on water slides. I mean, like, I don't think that's a reward for me. What do you guys think?
I watched this episode with my wife, who's not a Survivor fan at all. She's watched it vicariously through me over the years, but she's not a fan. And she was like, "What the hell is this? Why are they going on water slides?" And then the shower wasn't even hot, and she's like, "This is a joke. What sort of reward is this?" And
then apparently they didn't even eat much.
Well, that's what Anella said because he got all pissy that they ate the eggs.
Yeah.
He's like, I didn't eat much. I thought I didn't eat much at the challenge anyway. I'm like, well, whose fault is that, Smash? Like,
yeah.
But I think if you're Renee and Amy, I don't think I would enjoy the water slides. I'd be like, oh my god, I'm going home.
Yeah, I would be like, I want to go back and like secure my spot in this game. Why am I here on a water slide?
I must say, I didn't think Renee would be the sort of guy that would actually enjoy a water slide in any circumstance, but he seemed to be having a good time. If we're going to review everyone's time at the water slide park, he was having a great time. Amy was not. She was going down that slide and she wasn't even smiling.
Like, there's water slides in the challenges sometimes.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Why do they need to go to the water slide? Anyway, it was one of the worst. Look, it's not Jack and Jill level of worst reward challenges, but it was pretty bad.
Yeah, it It's an odd choice, and obviously that water slide park paid them a bunch of money to put the water slide park in the show, and that was their reward. They seem to have locked out the water slide park just for our 4 contestants, so they got the run place, no lines, so it's a reward.
Yeah, it was like they had the whole park to themselves. That'd be fun.
It's a strange choice.
We kind of gloss over Enesu. We kind of briefly talk about Enesu wanting the flip before the Thai Destinies. And with this twist, she generally can't do it anymore. So do you think... So what her plan is, basically with Chappies, they want to throw out one of the 3. Is that correct?
Tyson was their target.
Yeah.
Okay. And so... Sorry, I lost my train of thought.
Well, she wanted to. What was she going to do? She was going to, with Chappies and Santony, bring in Nicole and Amy. So they were the ones she was speaking to. And Ramia obviously, has a connection to Chappies a little bit, so they probably would have used that and brought the 3 of them into a 3 and vote out Tyson. I think the reasoning why she's happy to do this is because I think that her and Kieran are actually pretty close. Like they keep it under wraps a bit, but they're pretty close too. And she probably felt that once Tyson was gone, Kieran's hers, and then she would have the 4 still to take out the balance 3, or the balance 4. She would have the 5 to the 4. She still have the numbers. I think she felt
they have a name for flipping on the 3, and I can't remember what it was. It's like Operation
Destiny. It's Operation
Destiny.
That's it. Yeah.
And how
they must have
Destinies.
Anesu, Santoni, and Chappies must have been talking about Operation Destiny for the longest time.
Yeah.
Because they always talk about it whenever they're talking as a group. So we're not fully seeing everything, I don't believe.
Correct.
I think I've worked out that Anesu, Chappies, and Santoni have really just been having control the whole merge.
Yeah.
And Anesu is playing on the fact that she used to be on that old tribe with everyone else that now is nearly gone. Yeah. And that's what they're sort of just fishing off. They're fishing off that connection, and Santoni being sort of semi-likable, but also being semi-hated at the same time.
So it doesn't make sense why Santoni wanted out Enesu as a double agent to the other tribe.
Maybe she's making her look bad for the final tribal. Maybe she's like preparing herself. Maybe she's thinking that early. Maybe she just doesn't know what she's doing, which is a possibility.
It's like a triple agent where, they're both the double agents and now she's selling out the other one, but they're actually still together. Or, I think sometimes Santoni, I think she's a queen. I think she's amazing, but I think sometimes her emotions get the better of her as well.
She's definitely playing emotionally for sure. However, I feel like she's still thinking more strategic than emotionally. Like she'll like emotion, like she knows she has to take somebody out from that alliance, but then she'll choose the most emotional like target in that alliance and take them out.
It's things like, when you piss her off, she's not in the mood to fake it. Like with Amy. Amy, made that pitch to her that was a really horrible pitch, and she's just like, I don't like you. I don't like what you said to me. See you later. There was no trying to pretend that she wasn't actually upset, or anything like that. What I think is going to be very interesting with this move that they want to do next episode is you're essentially going to have 3 people immune at the next tribal, because someone's going to win immunity, someone's going to send someone to Immunity Island, and they all know there's an idol at Immunity Island as well. Everyone knows that. It's the worst kept secret of all time because of the lunch reveal. So with 3 potential immune people in a group of 8, and this probably being the biggest tribal for what will define the rest of the game, I think it could be very, very interesting.
Yeah, well, say, for example, we get the whole Tyson trio immune. To be honest, that doesn't really make much difference, though. Because they're just going to target Smash. Smash is going to go. Nicole will join the other 3, and then they'll ride it out to the final 4. Sure. I actually don't think that makes a difference. I feel like maybe if Nicole and Smash somehow get immunity again, that's when the game will go chaotic.
If Smash wins the challenge, sends Nicole to the immunity island, then anything's up for grabs then.
Yeah.
And this is going to use her tribal pass. She hinted she want to do it next, I think, sometime soon.
Can she put that on someone else and send them away?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think that's going to be the better use of it than using it on herself.
Oh yeah, that advantage is so you have to use that aggressively. You can't use it defensively. Using that aggressively is taking. It's also potentially sending the idol out of camp too. Like they could actually send the idol away with them.
Yeah. You send the person who went. Well, you can't. You don't know. I guess you could send. Can you send the person from Immunity Island away?
But if they if they're coming with a necklace, they can't vote anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But if they're passing on, but I'm wondering when, because they only asked before voting, so they wouldn't know.
When they pass on, they come back to camp earlier, so they know when they play. But they're going to play because it seems like if you don't play, you don't get to hang around to hunt for something. So you'd be crazy not to play because everyone knows the idol's there to hunt for. But it couldn't even be in the game. Maybe it's in the game, and maybe it's hidden.
Well, if Anella and say for example, Smash and Nicole win immunity, then they've got like an idol for the next tribal council as well, so they can potentially get through 2 to 3 tribal councils just with like idol paranoia and becoming that extra number, because one of them will become the extra number for each group of 3. It's bound to happen. We just don't know which way they're going to go. And to be honest, they'd probably go in Nesu's way because they've built that connection already.
Yeah, and Smash didn't seem very interested in being the 4th on that group of 3 with Tyson and Water, and because I'm not interested in that shit. But as I said before, if you just, no matter what the connections are, from a common sense point of view, you'd rather go with the Nesu Chappies and Santony because they have shown they're willing to stab whomever in the back to get to the end. Whereas those other 3, all they keep reinforcing is how bloody tight they are. And so why would you go with them? You are number 4 with them. And good luck beating Tyson or Kieran in the final challenge. Like, they're beasts. Go with Santony, go with Inesu, go with Chappies. Speaking on my boy Chappies, what do we think about his "I've had enough of answering the same questions at Tribal Council" outburst? That's the whole show.
It's about time it's been said, though. Like, it's about time. We're about like 50-something seasons through Survivor internationally, like throughout all of the franchises, and it's about time that they've actually said, "I'm bored of this." Like, and yeah, to be honest, the tribal councils in this season, to be honest, have been very lackluster. It's like been the lackluster part of each episode has been the tribal council, unless Anello is telling everyone he doesn't want to work with anyone.
It just needs to be edited in such a way that has very loud, dramatic music on basically anyone saying anything, and that's how you up the drama.
I wonder who they could follow.
I don't know. There might be some examples for them.
So they should do like the Australian version of like Tribal Council, but like boom.
There's a guy that does it on. There's a guy on
Twitter.
I know. And have you seen it, CK?
Yeah,
it's hilarious.
It's so good. Chappie's stuff, and then let him.
What do we think? Do we want to talk about before the tribal? Like anything? I think it's a dead in the water. I don't think there's anything they could done.
To be honest, I was actually thinking it was potential that they were going to flip.
But
I wasn't going to be shocked if Tyson and Water went this episode.
I felt like they did a good job of editing it in a way that you thought maybe Santony and Chappies might go, maybe Tyson and Water, but I think it wasn't really there. And as soon as you got it into tribal, you could tell Rainier and Amy knew that wasn't happening.
Yeah. And Rainier like trying to fake an idol, and
I don't like that. I just feel like
no, it just completely like it's like, oh, I'm gonna play this, and Santoni's like, show us.
Yes. Like it's an absurd thing to say because like obviously if you have it, you would show it, and so not showing it, he's trying to sell it. Look, I don't mind it because he's got nothing. So do you just go out quietly or do you just throw the last pitch?
I don't know. He's going to become a meme like Adam when Adam tried to take the thing off the front of the credit.
I didn't hate that move from Adam.
I don't hate that.
Legit.
But I don't have an issue. But then when he's like, "Oh, do you own the idol? You have to play it now," and he stand up and he say something I can't remember. I just feel like that's not a little bit unnecessary.
Yeah, I agree. Walking over with the bag and then there's the driftwood in there.
Yeah, that was just like it was. Yeah, he got some airtime for it though, and that's probably what he's trying to get.
It's so interesting that his edit just went downhill. He was like having really good edit in the beginning, and then I just don't remember like the later episode featured at all. So
it's actually the same with Amy too. Amy actually never got a vote in Survivor and was voted off anyway.
Okay. Cool. She's the first person that wasn't like you voted off without a vote. She's got to be the first person.
Yeah, in the merge too.
That's a cool stat.
It is a cool stat, but I do feel sorry for her. She was my winner's pick. And now she's gone. To be honest, her game was great. I don't think she actually stuffed it. I don't think she stuffed up it many times.
I don't think she's going anytime soon without this twist. She would actually hang out.
Oh yeah, she was like protected. Like Santoni wanted to keep her, right? And even Anetsu wanted to keep her too.
Rainier was going sometime soon, no matter what. But absolutely, Amy got caught up in a twist here. She could have been. I think she's in the final 4 or final 5 easy, and then it's always anyone's game at that point.
Yeah, I feel like if they were to do an All-Star season, she'll definitely get a comeback from this season. Should be like definitely one I would pick. And Santoni and Chappies.
No, Santoni and Chappies would easily get a callback, I think. There.
Yeah, and probably Tyson.
No, there's too many. There's too many people on this season. The other seasons have more way big character.
Yeah, that's true. To be honest, South Africa is so hard to choose. Who, like, if they ever have an All-Star season over there, good luck to the casting team. They are screwed. They've got way too many personalities to choose from. It's ridiculous. They would have to do like 3 All-Star seasons, and they probably still wouldn't cover everyone that we want to see back.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm obviously going to go and watch some of these other seasons.
It's ridiculous. It's like
this one.
It's so good. Anyway, we see Amy go. She's the 4th member of the jury.
Okay, before that, don't you think it's a bit funny that like Reneel getting up and then like going there and then like Amy just slowly walking up with a torch?
Yeah,
I just feel like they could have done it all together.
I felt
they should have went up together.
Yeah, I felt that was really weird too. I felt that it was like, like an afterthought. It was like, Rainier, you're voted out. You're the 3rd member of our jury, and then it's like, why didn't you just say the 3rd and 4th members of our jury are Rainier and Amy? And then she even got only the last 10 seconds of the end confessional discussion as well. It was all Rainier, and then she's like, yeah, high five.
And she didn't say anything at all in that trouble. I don't remember she piped up and said anything. I think
she didn't say anything at all in that trouble. She was just letting Rainier do all the work.
Yeah.
Didn't she get in the fight with Water?
Oh no, she did. No, she did.
She had a big fight with Water.
Yeah, she did. Yeah.
Everyone likes fighting with Water. Maybe Water is
on
the
the bottom. And she's like, someone's on the bottom. And Water's like, nah, there's no one on the bottom. And normally that's nonsense, but I actually do think because you actually have 2 dueling trios, there isn't actually a bottom. There's just 3 and 3.
Yeah, but like when you have like a strong 3, if you know that you're in a strong 3, you know that the other 3 people in there, like, you're going to be able to pull one across. And they know they can probably pull across Santoni.
I get your point, but as I've said, I'm sure their plan is now to bring in Anella or Nicole. And I still feel if you're Anella and Nicole, you're going to go with the other 3, not the top 3.
For sure. They literally just wrote their own grave. They just wrote their own like death certificate. From like how they've played and like being so close and not being fluid. they've definitely been like, yeah, they're definitely going next. Like the next 2 episodes, if we lose Tyson and Water, or Kieran and Tyson, or Kieran and Water, like that does not surprise me one bit at all. But like if we lose another person, I'll be shocked.
So do we think that Water and Tyson should have voted for Chappies and Santoni in this? Well, sorry, was there enough votes? No, it was only on them. That's right. They set that up perfectly, didn't they? Because it was the other guys did, because it was actually on Tyson. So even if they wanted to make a move, they couldn't.
I don't think they would do it anyway.
To be honest, you know who they should have voted? Chappies and Santoni should have voted like Amy.
What?
Right.
Just to have like their votes split around, and like obviously an idol gets played, it doesn't matter regardless. Tyson's gone, but they should have put their votes on Amy or something, or someone else, just to stir shit. You know,
but they're all in mute anyway. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I know. But just
why are we putting me?
Well, I don't know. I'm not thinking about this twist correctly. In my brain, my twist in the brain is just like if the idols played on Rainier, only Rainier's safe, and Amy could be voted out still.
It's 6-4.
Yeah, I know.
I think you always have to be careful with just throwing votes out to stir shit, because it looks like
to be honest, I would be horrible at this twist. I would possibly get myself sent home. But I feel like if the twist was just like you have to vote, like you both have to have the same vote from to count.
Yeah, look, I love that idea. I think that's a fantastic idea. I think it changes the twist. It makes it better. It's more in line with the interconnectivity for the entire episode. I think it makes really interesting strategy. Maybe that's what production should have done, Josh. They should have gone to you when they realized this rock draw had gone to complete disaster mode and gone, how can we actually make this interesting? And that would have been the answer.
Oh yeah, I'm happy for production to contact me.
No, don't contact Josh. Please contact me.
And to ask my opinion on any advantages. I have plenty in my mind that I love and think that they would be great on a TV show.
You know what? They should instead of Shannon and Mike, they should have come get us for twist ideas.
I want to ask you guys, here's a little side note. You know, how many of these advantage ideas are yours? Or because one of the questions, people that applied or do apply to one of Melbourne Survivor seasons in the questionnaire, I believe it was Vince's questionnaire, very lengthy. It was almost as long as the one you apply for to be on the real show. Was what ideas do you have for twists or advantages that haven't been seen before? So did you get any good ones off of that, or were they all rubbish?
I didn't actually read all of it.
To be honest, most of them I didn't agree with. Most of them seemed overpowered, or like.
Do you remember mine, Josh?
I can't remember yours off the top of my head. You can tell us.
Yeah. So my idea, I've always thought this for a few times. Normally, the individual, more in Australian Survivor, but the individual immunity necklace has a part of it, normally the centerpiece, that is identical to what the individual immunity idols look like. And I would have loved if, in one season, the actual bit that's there, that centerpiece, was detachable, and that was an immunity idol. So sort of like the Adam thing, but it's attached to the necklace, and you could only get it by getting the necklace. But there's no clue to tell you it was like that. You sort of had to figure it out that it was detachable. That's my idea. I
feel like in a long period game, like a long time game, that would make more sense. But in a game where it goes...
Oz Survivor.
Yeah, like an actual Survivor, yeah. But like in a LRG where it goes for like 20 minutes, probably not.
No. Hey, this guy loves my ideas. Thanks, Dustin.
Maybe Dustin can use it in their the US version. Emoji. Yeah.
Yeah, that's an to make a good necklace, and the idols that look good. That's the tricky part of it.
No, I do like that idea, like using like different objects for like idols and stuff like that. We have
instead of just putting random places.
Yeah, like we've actually seen that in like actual Survivor 2. Yeah, I'm just trying to remember which one.
China and Philippines. Yeah.
China was tricky, of course, because idols have never looked like they did in China, and they never have again. Like, they would just piss the planks of wood. God knows where James hid those things, because they were huge.
Backyard Survivor season 2, was it season 2 or season 3, where they had like dinner plates as their idols?
Yeah.
Plates were like ridiculous, like huge things. Like, they were ridiculous. You got to go watch that if you haven't watched that.
Made of China or made of plastic?
I think they were actually made of China.
No, it's like it's kind of like a.
It wasn't plastic.
No, it's not plastic. It's like steel or something. Oh, like something like heavy.
That's absurd.
Like, it's shiny. It's just shiny.
Yeah.
It's absurd,
Yeah, I don't get where, because like Liz is like the host of Mum and Survivor. She has you know that anyway. She had one. Not that she played it.
She had the half idol that made a super idol, but
yeah, but like that was. I must say though, that was never like said until like a player said it. Like, it wasn't actually said in the show at any point that they could play them as normal idols until a player then said, "I can play this as a normal idol." It was so confusing. Anyway, we're not here to talk about Backyard Survivor.
We've already done that. Been there, done that.
Okay, let's discuss our kiss, marry, kill players of the round. Chris, if you know these, essentially a kiss is who we think made like a power move this episode and did well this episode. A kiss is a marry is a who you think is going to win from this point onwards, based on what we see. And a kill is somebody who did absolutely horrible.
Yeah. Okay. So, well, the kill is easy. It's Nicole. Like, we've discussed Nicole. She made the worst reward selection choice of all time, and pretty much gave up any chance of a different outcome occurring. So that's an easy kill. The kiss is, look, I'm torn. I have them both in my draft, and I think Inessu's amazing and playing an amazing game, and I think she's a really strong woman, and really doing an amazing job on this show. But I can't go past my just love for Chappies, and I'd love to see him win. It's never going to happen, but I just love to see him win. And then that's the marry, right? Okay, so the kiss is the person who I think did a good job in this episode. This is an interesting one, because ultimately so much was taken out of the hands of everyone. But I think the person who may have done the best, and this is maybe an interesting call in this episode, is Anella. Because from the parts that were not focused on this particular episode, but moving forward, I felt like he was potentially putting in the best options and moves with these people to be that guy that, hey, when the rest of my tribe is gone, I'm here, I'm your guy, I'm ready to make moves with you. And when they start to cannibalize, he's saying, I'll be number 7. I'm number 7, and I'm here for you guys when that happens. And I feel like Nicole on the edit wasn't doing that as much, and that's what they need to be doing right now.
Yeah, to be honest, I agree with a lot of what you said. I feel like obviously Nicole is, she's in the game because she's going to get carried to the end. She's not, unfortunately, she just doesn't have any power at all. Yeah. And I think she's just trying to, like her time, like enjoy it while she's there. I feel like she knows she could be not winning this. So she's definitely my kill because of the most stupidest reward pick of all time. It makes no I don't think anybody could like spin a story to actually make it make sense. And if anybody out there wants to try and spin a story to make Nicole's move make sense,
Nicole tried. She said, "If this is their last day and they're executed tomorrow, I'm glad I gave them this last meal." So that was
it's like how she was just like leading like kids into a van or something. She was like, "Oh, okay, you're gone now. Like you're never coming back. Like that's it. Your game's over." It was just bad. And then we've got Anella I can't believe he actually did something. Like, I am shocked that he actually did something. He actually talked to people. Yeah. And to me, that's like, I'm gobsmacked. Like, he decided to start playing now.
Yeah.
Like, I still want to kill him. But, like, at the same time, you have to kiss in this episode because of, like, him actually creating something.
And look, I kissed him because of that, but it's because there's a real lack of anything else to kiss in the episode, just because of the way the twist unfolded.
Yeah. To be honest, you know how I want to kill the producers. If I could kill the producers, it'd make more sense for the horrible outcome of the twist. I know it was in the Survivor God's hands. Macedonian Jesus, whoever. But yeah, I wasn't happy with that. Anyway, there is no way Anesu is not winning this game. She is hands down. Yeah, you got to marry her. If she doesn't make the end, somebody has outplayed her massively, and I can't wait to see the person who does vote her out if it happens. But yeah, and if it's D'Antoni, oh, mate, I'll beg my knees, everything. I
think Kieran's a dark horse still to potentially win.
Yeah, Kieran is a dark horse. He's getting like his edit seems like he's coming off really smart, and he's like playing like the back end of like Tyson and Water. So he could be the only. Him and Anesu as a final two, I could see, and it's possibly what we'll get. I reckon.
I don't agree with that because Anesu would never have been Kieran.
And but like, say if Kieran wins the final tribal cancel, like the final tribal challenge, and then
he's not going to have to take her either. He'd take Chappies, he'd take Nicole, he'd take Liz around.
I think both of them can't be in final two together. That's just
they're too smart.
With their sort of, because I think their game's pretty similar. Like, they're not similar, but the perception of people, they see them, they're like kind of the same sort of like smart, they make smart move and really polite and really like, well spoken. So like it's gonna be like, so why would you want to bring someone that's some sort of equal level? You could have bring you could have bring
to be honest, everyone likes Anesu, so if you take her to the end, you're pulling a woo.
Yeah.
So she's gonna have to win the final immunity challenge to win this game.
Yeah, I don't think anyone takes her to the end.
No, I feel like everyone takes Santoni.
Yeah, or Chappies if he's there. I don't think people are giving Chappies the money. Look, as much as I love him, he's pretty clueless at the game. He's never
Chappies will win against Santoni. That's if it's a final.
Yeah, that's the only one he can win against. So they're great options to be bringing to the end. They're also, the great thing about a Santoni or a Chappies, if you bring them to the end, is they're not really goats. So it's not like you get accused of bringing a weak player or something like that. But they're equally not. No one's going to give them the money.
But people were like claiming Santoni was a goat early on, and like, how? I'm sorry, she's flipping to the alliances she needed to make herself further through the game. Flipping is not a goat move. Flipping is not a goat move. And if people think it is, then like they need to like reassess their thoughts and survival.
Goats do nothing. That's what goats do. Nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
So the goats are Nicole and Water.
Yeah. Water argues.
Yeah, I don't think Water has a goat energy. I feel like she gets in an argument a lot. So
actually, look, you might be right. I think Water's getting a shit edit because at Tribal, where they can't edit her as much, she's actually very, very vocal and very, very involved. And she must be doing more back at camp that is not being shown. So I think you're probably right on that. It's the edit for her.
You could claim that Kieran's a goat though.
He won 2 immunities.
That doesn't mean anything though. Winning immunity isn't anything. Like
it was Kieran's
he also sent his alliance.
But it was Kieran's plan. It was Kieran's plan that switched the whole game when he sent Tyson to the thing to come back without playing and all that sort of stuff. That was his plan.
But that is a joint effort, though. I feel like
that's a joint effort, and that, to be honest, I personally think Tyson probably would have said that. Like, it's still Tyson's decision on that island to come back or not. Kieran's not like, you've got to come back. Like, that wasn't like. I don't know. I think there actually is like some goat energy behind Kieran.
Look, if you get a Kieran final 2, you're going to get a JT fishback situation. That's what's going to happen, and Tyson will run away with the thing. So,
Tyson's more
Kieran. To be honest, Kieran only really wins against Santoni and Water,
Nicole
maybe.
Yeah. I don't know, but all the Zamba member tribe there.
That's the issue. That's the issue. Like, if Kieran gets to the end, he has to get to the end with like Santoni.
Yeah.
I can't see Kieran winning against anybody else.
No, Kieran can win against Chappie. I think Kieran can win against Chappie.
No,
I don't see it.
I think Sean might give Chappie's his vote. They spend a bit of time together.
I know Amy will give Chappie's vote. I know Rainier will give
Chappie's vote.
I feel like Amy
will vote for. I feel like Amy will vote for Kieran.
I think Marishna's pretty annoyed about her vote off, and I think she would not vote for Kieran on that. Anyway,
but Chappie was part of it.
I don't know. Chappie's to be like Chappie's has been like sort of like an opening that they could have actually went to, but they just never did. So they'll probably.
Yeah, on your point, Vince, on Marisha's vote off, Chappie's is the alternate that goes. So you can't have a grudge against the person that survived, so you could get voted out. Like, he's obviously going to vote for you. Like, you can't be annoyed about that one.
But I feel like,
you can't be annoyed about the alternate person going, like them staying in.
Yeah, I'm voting for you.
You can't be annoyed at that.
Like, why is she angry about? Because, like,
she's more angry at Santoni and Esu for not following what they said they were going to do. That's the people she's annoyed at. But like, she can't be annoyed at Chappie's. But then also at the same time, like,
you can't be angry at Kieran.
I personally wouldn't vote for somebody who's in a strong 3 alliance because they've just rid that alliance wave throughout the game. I wouldn't vote for somebody who like.
No, but Josh, you're in pole position. Why you give like if you're in a top top 3, like why would you give up the position just because?
No, but they haven't even discussed anything with anyone else. So like they're like completely closed off to the idea of anybody else working with them. And like if you're out there for 20-something days and that person doesn't want to talk any strategy with you because they're completely like done with like you being like a part of their like moves in the future, then like that's the type of person I would not want to vote for at all.
I don't feel like I don't know if you're seeing it, but I feel like there is still communication between like maybe not to Nicole and Ella, but maybe to Amy and Rainier, like with Kieran and Tyson. But they're not going to show all that time the conversation.
Yeah. No, of course not. There's a lot of stuff we don't see, but like I just don't feel like they're showing Kieran enough doing this stuff for him to even have a chance at winning because I don't think they're showing it. From what I've been watching anyway, from my personal view.
I also feel that if Chappie gets to the end, Anella will give him the vote because I think Anella is a genuinely nice guy, and I think if I was him, I'd feel a bit bad about the wild goose chase I sent out Chappie's on for that idol, and I'll give him my vote as like a peace offering.
It's funny how that like never eventuated into anything. Like it's hilarious. I love it, but like it did nothing whatsoever.
I was sure he was going to find some other idol because of the amount of time they put into.
Well, there is an idol. Apparently, there's a merge idol that nobody's found, and there should be a merge idol at the camp somewhere. The fact that nobody's found it.
Isn't there?
No, they've only found the note that there's one on Immunity Island, but Immunity Island's not merged.
Maybe they do change it. Maybe they said, okay, that's the merge idol then. There's no way.
I doubt they would only offer merge idols to like people who only get sent to Immunity Island though.
The thing is,
like
you don't found that.
Why not? Because it's not fair.
Rewarding with merge at his camp, and maybe they felt once that was there, they didn't want. Like I don't know. It's a weird show where there's a lot of idols, but there's also not a lot.
Well, if you go by like seasons past and stuff with like islands and stuff like that, there's always been a potential idol on the island, but then there's also been an idol at the camp too. Always. So there has to be an idol at the camp somewhere.
I don't think we need to follow the script. That's my opinion.
No. But like, I feel like there would be because like we probably never see it. Like idols are probably done for the season.
I think so. Did you, except for the one that's at the island? Did you guys? I didn't listen to your recap for this episode. Did you stand the fact that obviously that scavenger hunt was like there the whole time, and they just gave it to Smash, by having his brother tell him it was behind him. even though. And then he found it. But obviously that was the one that like Santony found in episode 2 where she just looked into the sign and found the idol. And the production was like, we're having a damn scavenger hunt, put another idol in the sign and tell Smash where to start.
It's exactly the same spot.
Yeah, this was like, she just found it. And then they're like, some producer came up with that scavenger hunt and he or she was like, no, we're having it. Put it back. Let's go again.
I feel like, I don't think we mentioned it. I just feel like it's a bit unnecessary. Like the scavenger hunt isn't that complicated. They could have just give it to him, like in like not just instead of sending him to the wild goose chase. They could have just put it
because they gave him the first clue. They actually the first clue.
I don't know. I feel like if they just give it to him though, then like the fans will like start raging. Oh, you just got given an idol, type of thing.
That's what happened anyway. Like,
yeah, I know, but like they're gonna make him like work for it. I essentially guess.
I think the thing is the casual won't put 2 and 2 together necessarily and go. They just handed him that idol. In fact, until I just talked about it right then, I hadn't really thought about how they just handed him that idol, but they really did. So,
Santony actually didn't find the idol. She found the clue. Remember, it wasn't actually an idol.
No. Oh, you're right.
No, she found the clue to the idol in Tribal, and she also won the clue to the idols in both camps. So technically, there wasn't an idol in there, but like, it's still the same spot, yeah.
How did she not look in the other? As you guys talked about this, how did she not look in the other camp's spot?
She just forgot. Apparently, she forgot. She just forgot. She forgot she was out there playing for. Is it 1 million rupees or whatever? The Rand.
Yeah. RAND.
Rand.
Yeah, sorry.
1 million rand. She forgot she was out there working for 1 million rand and was enjoying a holiday, sunbathing in the sun, and just completely forgot. Was too busy blindsiding people.
There's a couple of other things you asked me to say what I was liking about this. There's a couple of other things I'm like about the South Africa that I'm sure you've talked about, but I like how they just have clothes. And suitable clothes for the climate they appear to be in, as opposed to being forced to wear the underwear all the time. There doesn't seem to be a strong sexualization of the women, which I think is really positive. America is not great for that. Australia is atrocious. But the other factors that I like is that the casting is really diverse. There's a real good diversity of color and other aspects that are diverse that you don't necessarily get to see. And I know America's improving upon that, but I think the casting is very, very good. I like how they speak Afrikaans sometimes. You're not supposed to be able to speak other languages in Survivors, but obviously everyone there can speak Afrikaans, so they just allow it and they break into it sometime, which is cool. And the one thing that I thought was really interesting and I didn't know what to expect going into this season was I wondered if there'd be any underlying racial tensions between, white people and black people on the show, given the history of South Africa. I don't know what it's like culturally, South Africa. You hear stories, of course, but I don't know what it's like now. But I actually have a friend who is South African and I'm watching the show. And I asked him, there doesn't seem to be that sort of thing going on. Is that, normal? And he's like, yeah, South African culture is that seems to be less of an issue these days. But what there is in their culture quite strongly is almost an every man or woman for himself or herself approach to life. And I think that's potentially why this is so good. You don't, in the Australian Survivor, you get the mateship thing sometime because that's how people approach life here. But there really is a just go do what you need to do for yourself approach in their society. And that's why you get such a good program. The only other thing I noticed is, remember they got really excited about that South African sausage that they brought out in a reward? They all lost their mind about it. I told him about that and he went and got some of that sausage and cooked it up for me. And it was very good.
What sausage was it? Was it just a sausage?
It's this whole process and you put all these different meats and you smoke it in a way and you put different cinnamons and flavors in it. It's a whole thing. It
must be the national dish. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
what it is.
Yeah. It's really good. So anyway, that's
I
what
don't
I like
know
about
Australia's national dish, to be honest, because we're so multicultural over here. We just
Meat
eat
pies.
everything.
Yeah, that's what I
I
like
don't think
about
it's in a meat pie.
meat pie. Yeah,
Meat pies.
Hopefully not.
Leamington.
Remington. Yeah, that's what I really like
Bangers and
about
mash.
this show. I think it's really cool for those reasons.
No, it is. It's I can't fault South African Survivor, other than the twists that don't work out,
And that is bad.
and that's just
It's not that bad, Josh. You came up with worse twists.
look. This is not the place to argue about this, Vince. Okay.
Isn't this quite funny?
We will be civilized.
Isn't Josh the one that loves twists, and Vince is the one that doesn't want any twists? So this is quite the change of.
I like a twist that actually like works and makes sense and actually like is cool. But when like a twist like this happens, that's like completely horrid and does nothing at all, I don't like.
Let's be civil, Josh.
Vince,
No, nothing. This twist is absolutely nothing at all.
Well, I think your twist has have the same effect as this double tie destiny thing as well.
No,
but
my twist isn't random.
But let's just leave it. Just leave it.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for listening to us ramble on after the episode. It's been great to come on here again and talk to new people, Chris. Well, not new people, we know Chris. But yeah, I guess a couple of things happening at the moment. Canberra and Backyard Survivor will be coming out soon. So is Melbourne Survivor. Chris is the first person we're announcing as a cast. Which way? This way? No, this way.
That way.
This way. This way. I got it. Yeah, so Chris will be on this season. Watch out for him. Did you enjoy your time?
I had an amazing time on Melbourne Survivor. I would encourage anybody who has thought about playing one of these smaller amateur forms of Survivor, or just you would want to do the main show, but it's not, you want to do 55 days, or you can't, or whatever. Like, it was an amazing experience, and Josh and Vince and Liz and the rest of the crew did an amazing job. Look, you don't know what you're walking into. I'm actually from Adelaide, so I flew to Melbourne for it. Found a window in between the million lockdowns that Melbourne's had to get in and out, and I was gobsmacked by the quality and the effort that these guys put in. There was over 40 crew there working. There was a huge amount of cameras and lights, and they had a boom mic and a proper sound setup for Tribal Council. Tribal Council looked amazing. Look, obviously, Melbourne Survivor 2 that Vince and Josh were on is a great show, but since then they've obviously got a lot more crew, help, funding, and Melbourne 3 was a real huge step up in terms of amateur Survivor production values. So what I would really encourage anyone who's thought about applying for future seasons to apply, because you'll have an amazing experience and you end up with really great new friends. Like, I'm great friends now with everyone that I played with, whether I was aligned with them or whether I was trying to get them voted out, or anyone I played with. We're all really connected now as a group. You have this shared bond, which is really special. And I don't think it's something you can get in another way other than perhaps playing, of course, the real one. So yeah, I can't recommend doing it enough.
Thank you. I wasn't expecting that.
I want to add one point that we're not Australian Survivor. We do like diversity, so just let everyone know out there.
Yeah. We want everyone to apply.
It is a very diverse cast, which just shows how special they must have thought I was, because there's obviously a million white straight guys applying to be on this show, and I was the one they picked for that small role. Because the rest of it is more diverse than that. It's not 12 white guys and a couple of white women. It's a great mix of diversity, of color, of gender preference, of sexuality, and that's what made it really, really special as well.
Yeah, I can't wait to get it out to everyone so everyone can have a watch. It's a good season. I enjoyed my time on there. Season 4 to come. We're definitely going to do it, so we're not going to stop, which is good. It's good to make new friends, get the community bigger, especially in Australia because it is quite small, especially live reality games. To get more people involved is what we want to do. So yeah, keep your eyes out for that. On the live reality games page, you will see some type of. There's a live reality games casting page as well. So if you're not on that one, go to that one and like the page. Have a look. But yeah, thank you everyone for coming. We will be in touch and we'll be back next week with episode 11.
Yes.
I think it's 11. Yeah.
Yes.
I've lost count of numbers. I feel like I do this, or we do this every week.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Anything else you want to say, Vince, before we go? No. Okay. Bye, everyone. Thank you. See you later.
Bye.
Thanks.